Hi, we're now going to work on something that we can measure. So you can actually measure your success as you're going through this program. What I want you to do is, for a lot of people, this particular section doesn't go down completely from a 10 out of 10 to a 0. And I'll explain to you in a minute how I'm going to measure this. And don't worry about that. If it gets stuck at a 5, or gets stuck at a 7, or gets stuck at a 4 out of 10, or whatever, fine. Just work on it for, let's say, about 15 minutes, and then move on to the next section. Then come back here every now and then to this section. So I'm going to put this unit, this module, in after other ones, so that you can see again how much fear or reluctance is there to stopping smoking. If the fear has gone down to 0, then all you have to do is fine, ignore that unit, just tick through it and move on to the next one, okay? And I do appreciate your feedback so that I can always make this program as solid and as foolproof as possible so that other people can continue to benefit from it. So, let me know how you get on after this tapping. So for now, all I ask you to do is to just evaluate on a scale from 10 to 0. How much fear of stopping smoking do you feel? If you don't feel it as fear, maybe it's a trepidation or a resistance. Just ask yourself, how much of that fear do you have? I call it fear, but different cultures have different words for the same thing. So you might call it resistance. That's fine. So let's say it's a 9 or a 7 or a 4 or a 2. It doesn't really matter, or a 10 out of 10 even. Whatever it is, tap with those statements. I'll just give you an example now. So I'll just leave you now just for a few moments to think, what is that number? Whatever number has come to your head, where 10 is the worst and 0 is nothing, let's go with it. All right, so tap along with me. Even though I have this fear of stopping smoking, I deeply accept myself. Even though I have this fear of stopping smoking, I deeply accept myself. Even though I have this fear of stopping smoking, I deeply accept myself. This fear of stopping smoking, 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 this fear of stopping smoking. I allow myself to move forward, safely and calmly. I can do this. Yes, I can. And just have a moment to rest. I know this is a little bit different from the wording in your unit. That's fine. When I do EFT, I get carried away and I say whatever feels right. So if you feel like changing the words a little bit, that's fine as long as you're tapping. So tap along with me one more time and we'll see where that takes us. Even though I don't want to deprive myself from this reward or this treat, I accept myself anyway. Even though I don't want to deprive myself from this reward or treat, I accept myself anyway. Even though I have this fear of stopping smoking, or this fear of depriving myself, I accept myself anyway. This fear of being deprived, 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 this fear of being deprived. I accept myself anyway. Okay, have a rest. Let's tap one more time, just simply using the words this fear. Or if the fear doesn't feel right for you, you can call it resistance or trepidation. That's fine. So just tap along with me one more time and then you can tap on your own for about 15 minutes or until it's 0. If that happens before, you may be one of the few people for whom it goes down to 0 very quickly. That's fine too. So tap along with me. Even though I have this fear of stopping smoking, I accept myself anyway. Even though I have this fear of stopping smoking, I accept myself anyway. Even though I have this fear of stopping smoking, I accept myself anyway. Even if I didn't accept myself, I accept myself anyway. This fear, 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 this fear. I accept myself anyway. Okay. Have a rest. And then you can tap on your own and give me your feedback.